Hello, hello, and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube live video. And I am just out here hoping that I'm live out on the channel where I want to be and just checking it so that I can pull up comments. There we go. All right, looks like I am live and just switching the video so that I can see your comments and see if you're hopping in to join me. If you are hopping in, feel free to say hello and leave me a comment. I appreciate that. If you're watching the replay, that is just awesome too. So feel free to check out the video and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So again, today I am going to show you how I made a card with the Itty Bitty Birthdays stamp set, which this is a stamp set actually from the annual catalogs, which is, it's a good stamp set, lots of good things in there, but this is one of those that has tons of sentiments in it and can always be used. So definitely a good stamp set to have around just because we're almost always sending out birthday cards. And then I used a little bit of the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper, which is one of the new items from the second release celebration. So hey Karen, thanks for hopping in today. I appreciate it. So it's a new item from the second release celebration brochure, which this has got 5 new items in it, in addition to the items that are currently available from celebration. So this is the Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper. Hey, look at that. Mary's hopping on too. So it's a beautiful pack of paper. If you don't have it yet, you definitely need to get some. So definitely worth putting in a $50 order so that you can get a pack of this for free. Then there is also the Rise and Shine photopolymer stamp set, which is free with an order of $100 or greater. And then we have the Well Dressed stamp set, which is free with an order of $50 or greater. And I just was playing with this and used it to make a card on my blog today, which is stampwithamyk.com. So feel free to stop out and check out the card that I made with that stamp set today. And then, of course, we have the So Very Vellum Specialty Designer Series paper, which is also free with an order of $50 or greater during celebration, which ends, I can't believe it, in just a couple of weeks here on March 31st. So one thing to know about all the papers and things in here. Oh, like I said, there's one more. So Tags in Bloom is the final new item, which is free with an order of 100 or greater. So one thing to know about the celebration items, this is kind of the whole group of them. A couple of them have sold out already. So everything in the celebration brochure is only while supplies last. And particularly as we get towards the end of celebration, some of the things may sell out. And I have a sneaking suspicion this Flowering Foils designer paper might, and the vellum might too. That I know these 2 items have been extremely popular. Lots of people are ordering them. So if you are interested in getting it, make sure that you are getting your order put in sooner rather than later so that you don't miss out because it's beautiful paper. All right, so enough about that. This is actually the designer paper that I chopped the piece out of, but this is just one of the pieces from that foil pack. And so hopefully you can see how pretty it really is. Lots of shiny metallic on it. And it's a beautiful pack of paper, super easy to color with blends, with sponge daubers, with pretty much you can take an ink pad and kind of rub it straight across it. You can use sponge brayer, all sorts of things to add color to it. So if you are interested in getting it, which you should be, get on it and get your order put in. So hey Diane and hi Barbara, thanks for hopping in. And I'm glad that you're here checking out my my live video for the first time. And I really can talk most of the time. Today I'm struggling a little. So all right, so this is the card we're making today. And as I already said, we're using the Itty Bitty Birthday stamp set. We use the sentiments, the birthday wishes, as well as the time to celebrate on the inside. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. We did use one of the dies from the coordination product release. This is the die that I used, which is the banner die from the Sending Flowers dies set, which this die set is only available while supplies last through the end of celebration as well. So if you are interested in getting this die set, which is another one you should be interested in, definitely get your orders put in soon so that you can get this awesome die set. And then the other die that I used around the flower image was just one of the Stitched Shapes dies. I used the largest of the circle dies from that. So I am going to set a few things aside here and we will get going on the card. And I guess one last thing I should probably show you is the coordination product release flyer. So this is the product I was talking about. This is the Sending Flowers dies in particular, but there are a couple of other new die sets. So there are a total of 5 new die sets, or newer, I should say. They came out in early February, and they're all available while supplies last. They're not listed in any catalog, so definitely take a look at them. The details are going to be out with my blog post tomorrow. I'll post a link up to this flyer. You can find them in my online store as well. So there's a set that matches the Positive Thoughts stamp set, one that matches the Special Someone stamp set, one that matches the Little Ladybug stamp set. This one coordinates with, they said the Sending You Thoughts Celebration stamp set, but it coordinates with a lot more than that. So, and then we've got the birthday dies that coordinate with the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, as well as the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper, which is an awesome pack of paper, by the way. So these are all available while supplies last and only during celebration. So let me know if you have questions about that. I am happy to chat with you more about it if you do. Okay, so let's get rolling on the cards. So I started off with a card base of soft suede, and I have mine cut to 4 1/4 by 11, which you can do the book fold card for this one too. That works just fine. So if you prefer to have the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4, that works too. This is just my preference on the layout for the card. And then I've got a piece of Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper, which I think I used in my last video too. Apparently I like it. Hey Kathy, thanks for hopping on. Sorry, I missed your comment earlier. I was busy talking. So, but I've got a panel of that Designer Series paper cut to 4 1/2 by, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And someday I'm going to learn just to not try to say the sizes on the paper, because I always get them wrong. Whatever's posted on my blog is generally correct. What I say in the video, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So just use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, or the green glue, and I'm going to adhere this on to the card front. I generally tend to use the green glue when I am doing something like this, where I'm adhering a panel to cover the entire card front, because just like, I don't know if you saw it, it was a little bit off-centered, so the green glue gives me a minute just to sort of wiggle things around and make sure everything is where I want it to be before it's stuck down for good. So, hey Linda, glad that you're hopping in from Ohio, or from, Idaho. Okay, all right, I was going to say Ohio when I glanced at it initially, but Idaho, welcome. Thanks for coming in. All right, so we've got that done. We're going to set that aside for 1 second. And then I've got another piece of the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper, and hopefully I have it all cut to the right size. Yep, looks like I do. And a piece of the silver foil sheets. This one is cut to 3 1/2 by 5 1/2, and this is cut to 3 5/8 by 5 1/2. And we're going to adhere these two pieces of paper together using a little bit of snail. Hopefully I can get the snail on it and drive it somewhat straight. One thing on the foil sheets, if you like to kind of conserve your foil sheets a little bit, you can cut the centers out of them and nobody ever knows. So if you're going to layer it up like this, cut the center out of it and save that piece in the middle. See, there we go. See, this is why I should be using liquid glue on here. But sometimes I find the liquid glue, if it oozes out at all and gets on your foil sheets, it leaves a mark that you absolutely cannot get out. So that's why I generally tend to use snail on it, unless I absolutely can't. So, but yes, definitely cut the centers out of your foil sheets. Save them for punch circles out, cut ovals out, whatever it is that you think you might need from your foil sheets, so that you save a little bit. So, all right, going to adhere this on to the card front. And I'm going to put it so that the card is basically lined up on my grid paper, and that's going to hopefully help me to get this adhered centered on my card base, which can be a little challenging sometimes, but usually I find that if I put it on my grid paper straight and line it up, then I don't have that issue anymore. So, all right, so that's basically the card base is done. The next thing that I did was I had taken, and I did this ahead of time, just cut this out with one of the Stitched Shapes dies. And all that I did to line it up was basically just found a flower that was kind of, by itself or whatever, put it around it so that I liked the way it looked, and then ran it through the Big Shot. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic die cutting on that one. And I'm going to color it with a couple of blends. So I used the light ones. I have seen some people who are a little better at coloring that have been able to do some more blending on this paper. I'm a pretty basic colorer. I'm not sure how you say it. So I'm pretty basic with my blends. So I basically just took it. This is the light Rococo Rose. And I just colored the entire thing with light. I did not attempt to do any sort of blending or shading. Just kind of wanted to get some color on the flower. Colorizer, is that it? Okay, colorist, color or something. Someday I'll come up with a good word and I won't stumble over it. Colorist, color something. Anyway, so again, just quickly putting a little bit of color on here over the entire flower. Yes, color. I don't even know how to say that one, Mary. Colorizer I could do. So as I'm coloring this, I just wanted to remind you real quickly that if you are interested in placing an order and getting some of this awesome paper for free during Celebration, I am actually running a little double reward point ordering bonus right now. So if you're interested in ordering, any order of $50 or greater, you get double reward points from me. So if you're interested in that, the details are posted on my blog. And so go check them out there. Happy to chat with you more about it if you have any questions about it. But yeah, get yourself a pack of this paper and get double points from me too. So, all right. Hey, Debbie, thanks for hopping in from Boise, Idaho. All right. Well, I'm glad that you like the card too. So, all right. So we've got a little light mossy meadow. You can't be one. Then I can't be one if I can't say the word. You're right. I can't. Oop, I took the wrong end off. I am not very good at those big words, Mary. See, you're confusing me. No, just kidding. All right. So adding a little bit of the light mossy meadow to the leaves. Almost call them petals, but yep, to the leaves on the flowers. And a little bit more over here, I think that's a leaf. The leaves appear to be silver, so that helps a little bit on the coloring, so you know what to color with what. But the leaves appear to be silver, and the flowers are the rose gold. So that made it a little easier for me coloring. And then I'm going to use the light So Saffron to color the center of the flower. And that's it for my awesome coloring demonstration for the day. What I wanted you to know about is this paper is super, super easy to color. And it actually colors much nicer than I thought it would. Sometimes papers get it looks kind of blotchy and whatever, but I feel like this paper is super, super easy to color. So definitely give it a shot if you, get a pack of the paper, which you all should. But when you get your pack of paper, not if, I should say, when you get your pack of paper, give it a try because coloring is really easy on it. And I'm not a good color person. See, there we go again. All right, so I'm using a couple little Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere on the piece that I have just colored. And I'm just going to slide my card base over here and get it fairly centered from side to side, a little bit closer up to the top. All right. Then we are done with that part, and I'm going to slide that over a bit because I am known for making a huge mess with embossing powder, and we're going to do a little heat embossing. So this is the Birthday Wishes Sentiment from the Itty Bitty Birthday Stamp Set, and I've got a little Versamark ink. I can't color so good. See? That is exactly what I should be posting. I aren't a good colorer. So, all right, a little Versamark ink and silver embossing powder, and I stamped it, I probably forgot to say that, on soft suede cardstock. And I store my embossing powders in little Ziploc, like sandwich type containers. And I think we actually bought these. They're in the storage, in with all the Ziploc bags and things. But it does a really good job of containing the mess when I do embossing. And it has a lid so I can close it because I am forever spilling that. So I'm getting out my heat tool, and as I think we talked about last week, it has two settings on it. Level 1 is for drying, and level 2 is for heat embossing. And so I'm going to let it warm up a little bit on the heat embossing parts. And then we're going to do a little embossing. Hopefully here in this, yep, there we go. It's starting to turn. Oh, thanks, Karen. See, Karen's nice to me. Mary is not so much. So, all right, So that is it for the heat embossing. And then I'm going to pull out the set of dies. I'm going to wheel over to my little side over here for just 1 second, but I've got this die from the Sending Flowers. Yes, Sending Flowers dies. And I'm going to just quickly run it through the die cutting machine, Big Shot, whatever die cutting machine you have. So I'll be back in 1 second. Oh, see, Diane agrees too. It's only Mary that doesn't. Oh, you guys are too. See? Mary just likes to give me a hard time because I give her a hard time during her videos, so I suppose it's only fair. So, there we go. Oh, okay. I think we got most of the little dots out. A couple of them stayed in, so we'll just kind of pop those out here with my tweezers. All right, scooch them aside, and the sentiment is all done. So, you are right. Fair is fair, so I can't say too much because I do harass Mary a fair amount during her videos, so payback, I guess, is one of those things. So I'm going to take a couple little dimensionals, little half dimensionals here, and I'm going to stick one on either end, and then in the middle I'm going to put, there we go, it's the right way around, a little bit of snail, just because I'm going to slide the sentiment up and it's going to be stuck on the bottom of the die cut that I've got here, as well as along the edges. So I wanted the dimensionals under the edges so that it doesn't smoosh down on the card, but wanted a little something in the center to hold it in place as well. So, and I hear a truck coming in. It sounds a little like the UPS truck, and so the dog may start going ballistic in a minute. And I promise we're not under attack. It's just the UPS man. So, all right, the last thing for the card front is I just added a couple of rhinestones and just sort of set them around here. Oop, there, I sent one flying. Goodness. Good thing it's Friday, I guess. I think we'll put that one there, and then other one down here. Okay, so that is all for the card front. So kind of super simple, but like I said, I really wanted to show you and how easy this foil paper is to color and how beautiful it looks once it's done. So, all right, the inside of the card I kept pretty simple as well. I've just got a couple of, actually we need to stamp the sentiment in there first, because if I adhere the paper down, I know I will get the sentiment all crooked and crazy and then need to flip it over and have to redo it. So, got a little soft suede ink. And the sentiment, again, is from the Itty Bitty Birthdays stamp set. Well, thank you, Nina, and thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. So Linda's got her paper on the way. You will love it. So definitely get it out, color it, play with it, chop it up, use it, because it's beautiful paper. So you don't want it to sit in your closet forever. All right. Super simple again on the inside. Just did a little bit of stamping with the sentiment. And I'm going to put a little bit of snail here on the bottom. And I've got a couple of pieces of designer paper, and I'm going to trim this down, so no worries there. But this is, again, just trimmed off pieces from the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper that we used on the card front. And this one's about 3/4 of an inch, and then this piece is about 5/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to adhere one right on top of the other. And hopefully get them somewhat straight. There we go. All right, that looks decent. Thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that. And then I've got a little scissors here. We're just going to snip off the edge to make it even. Hopefully, yep, looks like we got it on there fairly straight. Hopefully the bottom corner is all covered. And just use a little bit of snail to adhere it to the inside of the card base. All right. And there we go. That is it for the card today. Do a quick crease on it with the bone folder, but card is done. So here's my original one, and then here's the one we put together today. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're going to have a great rest of your weekend. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I will be posting a link to the blog post for this card on tomorrow. So I will link it up in the video comments. So if you have questions about it, want to go see more, are interested in checking out my ordering special, interested in looking at this paper, whatever it is, it'll all be linked up tomorrow, so feel free to take a look. Thanks so much. I'm glad you were able to hop in today, Linda, as well. Thanks, Barbara. I appreciate your sweet comments. And again, have a great rest of your weekend. I will plan to be live on Facebook on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then be back with y'all again on YouTube Live next week, Friday, around 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll chat with y'all soon.